My name's Chris, and I'm obsessed with pizza. Today I'm obsessed with making the pizza I loved the most as a kid. Every pizza lover has that one that started it all. For me, it was Charlie's. Growing up in Northwest Philly, there were tons of great pizzerias. But for me and my friends, Charlie's was pizza perfection. It's an upside-down pie with a sweet, tangy sauce, and we always ordered extra tomatoes. I'm going to start by putting down some bench flour. If you want my pizza dough recipe, check out my short called Great Pizza Dough Made Easy. All right, just going to coax this dough out of the container. Then I'm going to give it a little bath in the flour. Try to coat the whole outside evenly. Be gentle with the dough because you want to leave the air inside of it. Now I'm going to press around the edges, leaving about an inch of crust. And just going to go around the outside and then back up the middle until I get most of the air out of the center portion. Just trying to make sure that I get a nice even flattening of the inside of the dough while leaving the integrity of the crust. The next step is to go around the outside of the pizza, stretching it while at the same time defining the crust. I don't want a big thick crust on this pizza. I just want enough of a retaining wall to keep in all of that delicious sauce. Stay away from the middle of the crust while you're doing this. The middle will kind of stretch on its own. This dough is about a 66% hydration. It's fairly easy to work with. It opens up and doesn't spring back, but at the same time, it's sturdy enough that you can pick it up and stretch it on your knuckles. And we're just about at the point where we can start doing that. All right, the key to this is to make sure that you're only stretching the sides. You want to try to leave the middle alone. If you don't, the middle will thin out too much and you'll have a lot of problems. I like to stretch it all the way around, put it back down on the peel, see where I'm at size-wise, and then repeat that process until I get it to where I want it. Once I'm there, I'll pick up the pizza with one hand and then put a light sprinkling of flour down on the peel. Very important step to make sure that the pizza slides off of the peel and into the oven. If you get a little tear, just fold it over like I just had to do. And then I'll make a final stretch on the board. Make sure it's fairly round. Cover as much square footage as I can. All right, it's looking pretty good. Next step is going to be the cheese. I'm using a fairly thinly sliced, low moisture mozzarella. And you just want to get a nice even coating all the way around the pie. Make sure to keep it off of the crust. Otherwise, you'll defeat the purpose and you'll have a pathway for sauce to leave your pizza. Next layer is going to be whatever toppings you want to put on. The sauce always goes on top of the toppings with this style pizza. Today I'm going with boar's head pepperoni. And I just want to do a nice even layer all the way around. I don't recommend piling too much pepperoni on this pizza, or the grease will render out and mess with the flavor of the sauce. I've tried a lot of different kinds of pepperoni for this. To me, the boar's head has the best flavor, and it doesn't really curl up and interfere with the cooking at the top of the pizza. All right, we got a nice layer of pepperoni on there. Next step is the sauce. I keep calling it a sauce, but it's really more just seasoned tomatoes. All it is a 28-ounce can of San Marzano tomatoes, probably about 2 teaspoons of fine sea salt, and then maybe a tablespoon of dried oregano. The trick I found with this is to hit each piece of pepperoni with a little sauce on top. That way you can spread the sauce around without the pepperoni sliding around so much. All right, just going to do a little painting around the sides. Try to cover most of the cheese and pepperoni so that it doesn't burn while the pizza's cooking. One final finishing touch. Going to hit it with a little pecorino romano. Just a light coating on top. You don't want to put too much or it'll get too salty. Okay, looking great. We're ready for the oven. We're going to cook this on a pizza steel for about 8 minutes. A little bit tricky to get it launched into the oven without shaking any sauce off of the pie, but that went well. It came out of the oven looking and smelling great, and it really took me back to my youth. All right, here's the slice. Nice and thin. Some nice color on the bottom. So good. Sweet, tangy sauce. Pepperoni is great. Crust is amazing. Nice and crunchy. This is my favorite pizza, cooked just the way I like it. I give this a 9.5. This is not an exact recreation of Charlie's Pizza, but it captures its spirit in a way that I love. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time for more Pizza Obsession.